So the most classic application of the hip hinge is a deadlift movement, and a really common mistake that we see people make with the deadlift all the time is that they don't initiate with the hip hinge and they don't sustain that hip hinge for long enough in order to keep the bar path vertical. And the problem with not having a vertical bar path when you're doing a deadlift is if you're lowering down the weight from the top and the bar is traveling forwards, it's pulling you forward with it. And when the weight's light, that's okay. It's not great because it's not ideal form, but you're not going to feel too bad about it. As soon as you start to reach a weight where it's challenging for you, it becomes a very big problem because the further the weight is out in front of you, the more weight you have to hold. The lever is longer, there's more pressure on your back, and it's much harder for you to sustain. So, with the deadlift, if you're starting from the top, what we want to initiate with this hinge, you want to be sitting back into your hips. So not moving your back, arching your back. We're just sitting our hips back and letting the shoulders fall forward as you sit back. Now when I get to the knee, the first half of the deadlift, you shouldn't run into your knees. If you bend your knees too soon and then I go down, I'm going to run into the front and top of my kneecaps and I'm going to have to move the bar around them. This is no good. So we're going to be sitting back. So we sit the hips back, 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 and then I can glide past my knee without having to go around them. And the bar path at that point is straight up and down. So from here, I'll do one more time, I'm going to sit the hips back, sit the hips back. The bar is just traveling straight down over the tongue of my shoe, and then when I come back up again, my hips are just pulling forward to reverse the motion. Okay? Once you clear the knee, once we get to this point, you can then bend the knee and the knees will come forward a little bit, but you're still pulling back into your shin. So then when I come back up, it's a vertical line to get past my knee and then hips through to standing. If you find this really, really difficult to get the feeling of, a really good drill is to grab yourself a broomstick, walk up against the squat rack so that it's right against the squat cage. So you can't move past it, right? I'm gonna walk in so my thighs are touching it, and then all I'm going to do from there is sit back with my hips so that I'm right back out of the way and I've got room to get past my knees. If you want to make it more challenging, scoot under further. We're going to sit the hips back, travel straight down. I don't run into my knees, come back up again. And you're just sliding that stick up and down the rig. If I bend my knees too soon, I get stuck and I can't get past my knees. So you have to sit back enough to be able to clear the kneecaps.